Right then, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about what happened last night. I don't know about you lot. I'm still finding it very hard to talk about the positive things that happened last night because I'm just thinking just overwhelming negativity about how poor these performances are. And you also, you frame everything by is this going to change? Something that I know to be true in football is results follow performance. If you put in consistently good performances, eventually the results will become good results. If you put in consistently bad performances, eventually the results will become bad performances. Now, somehow United are like 6 for 8. Or 8. In 8 games, we've got 6 wins. And I could not tell you how we have done that. It makes zero sense that Manchester United have been able to perform to that level because everything that we are doing is below par. So, yeah. Right, let's get into it. Number one, Garnacho was a spark plug. He offered all of the attacking impetus and urgency when it was totally lacking in the rest of the team. He is infinitely better as an impact sub as he is as a starter. I would have started him in this week's game. If you go back to my preview, I had him starting. But he was the difference maker into, like, when you look at the raw stats of what he did, it wasn't impressive, but it was the energy in his performance, the willingness to get forward, the willingness to run that was totally lacking in the first half from Manchester United. You can still improve his end product. You can still improve his finishing. You can still improve his decision making in the final third. But there are qualities to like about him. Now, I don't know if he's ever going to be like a starter that you can rely on. I don't know if you was picking your ultimate Manchester United team, does he start in that? I don't think he does. But there's a place for people in the squad who have got the ability to change the tempo of a game. And he absolutely has that ability. I thought he was our best player yesterday because of that. So yeah, that's that. Number 2, Dorgu debut. Now, obviously, I thought he looked good. Reading some of the reports online, it's quite a mixed bag, but I thought it was positive. We saw pace, we saw physicality. The managers explained sort of why he played him on the wrong side. I think not only did it hinder him, I thought it hindered Ahmad because they were basically on top of each other at all times. They wanted to both do the same sort of thing. I wish he was coming into a better environment. I don't understand why he only got 45 minutes. I think he's match fit. He was playing for Lecce a week ago. I thought he was probably our best player in the first half, and it made no sense to sub him off at half time. He's got a long time to prep for the next match now. Let's hope that we see him for 70 to 90 minutes in the next game on the left-hand side, because I just don't want to be seeing Delo starting for Manchester United at the moment. You can't find a reason that makes sense why Delo continues to start games. But that was a bright performance, I thought, from Dorgu. He's obviously not going to completely evolve how United play on his own. There's lots of other things that have to happen, but it'll be a step in the right direction in terms of the sort of impetus that he had when he was playing. Number 3, Leny Yoro. Now, I thought it was a pretty strong, steady, good game from him. He was good with the ball. He was one that was trying to play on the front foot. He was trying to break lines. You can see that he's starting to become a bit more assertive as he gets a run of games. You can't be blind to the fact that he's 19 years of age. He does a lot of good things with the ball. The one area he's deficient at the moment is physicality. That will come. As long as he's in the gym, that is going to come. And that's the one area of his game that there's big strides to be made. Now, if he gets that physicality, and he's got the frame to carry a big physique, if he gets that physicality, there's not really many weaknesses to his game. I think the being isolated in the channel a little bit, that'll come with experience. That's centre-half experience 101. But other than that, there's a lot to like about his game, and I thought he had a real solid shift yesterday. Zirkzee. So in 26 minutes against Leicester, Zirkzee did probably more than Højlund did for the entire time he was on the pitch. 100% of his take-ons, 19 touches. He attempted 5 tackles and he won 5 tackles. He got 2 shots. He got 1 goal. It was the easiest goal he's ever going to score. And I don't think it was a perfect performance. We seemed to sustain attacks better than him. The build-up was better with him. There was defensive work rate with him. Absolutely outperformed Højlund. But there were still loads of times when, because he's playing in that 10, he was a little bit off the box. As one of the 3 forwards in that, those 2 wide 10 positions, when the ball goes wide and the cross comes into the box, you have to be there. There are no ifs, no buts, no excuses. You've got to find yourself in there. Now, he did for the goal. He finds himself in the right place at the right time and he puts it away. But there was so many times he was outside the box as the ball is coming back into the box. You got to get on the end of those. Like, Manchester United could start scoring some goals if you could find yourself 10, 15 metres further forward. There's no explanation for me. The one that annoyed me the most, and is really in my head, he'd been on the pitch about 2 minutes. You are about as fresh as it's possible for an athlete to be. And the ball's gone wide. I think it might have been Garnacho that crossed it. It could have been Delo. But the ball's come back in. And it's come right in between that area, between the D and the penalty spot, where you literally train people to run towards when crosses are being cut back like that. And he wasn't there. If you're playing a forward 3 and the ball is with the left-hand number 10 / winger, right? The 2 other forwards have to do a certain job in that box. Now, the far side wing back, you might ask him to come in on the back post. That's fine. That's up to the manager on that one. The striker should always go across the front post, even if it's to just clear out a zone and it's to occupy centre-halves. Which means Zirkzee, as that other forward, has to go penalty spot or D. And he was outside the box. Outside the box, in the far side half space, didn't make any attempts. It didn't even cross his mind that this ball could be coming back across here. That has to improve. The lad I watched the game with, he literally went, that needs to be the first thing someone does when they sit him down today. They need to, when they get back in for the recovery today, they'd be like, Josh, can I have a word? Press play on that. What are you supposed to do in this area? It's unfathomable to me how that happened. And it was allowed to happen. When you go, why can't this United team score goals? This is why. Got to be better than that. But it was better than Højlund, for sure. Anyway, I think performances under Amorim have to be levels and levels better. I think, far too often we want too many touches. There was a noticeable downshift in the tempo of how we played from Ten Hag to Amorim. Not necessarily, it isn't as direct, but it's just the speed of our play. We take so much longer to make a decision on where to pass. It has to improve by a lot. Anyway, I'm done. Player ratings will come out. We'll get in depth into every single player. There's some performances that might shock you. Otherwise, take it easy. I'll do a late night live tomorrow night, so come tune in for that. Otherwise, take it easy. See you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.